There are all sorts of reasons to look for a different job. Perhaps you want to earn more money, climb higher up the career ladder, or completely change the work direction you're heading in, for example. These are all quite understandable, but I think there's an even better reason for shaking things up, and that's because you're getting anxious, stressed out, or sick as a direct result of the job you do. Finding new employment that immediately improves the quality of your life by eliminating the psychological and physical symptoms of bad work is surely one of the best of all the reasons for starting a job hunt. In today's tutorial, I want to talk about workplace disengagement, the underlying causes of some of the most pernicious difficulties that the big majority of employed people experience at some point in their lives. Whether you currently suffer from what I'm going to discuss or not, understanding the nature of this problem is crucially important if you want to be successful in whatever it is that you do. And solving it forms the basis of the entire Vocation Master Job Search Programme. This is day 5 of the 40-day job search. Hello, I'm Neil Grant, the person behind the Vocation Master Training Programme, and I help you do better work. If you're looking for an employed position with a private sector organisation, you've come to the right place, because I'm going to show you how to transform your professional future by taking complete control of your next job search. Everything you learn in this tutorial series is taken from my complete job search masterclass. You'll find syllabus and enrolment details for that at my website, where you can also take advantage of my free Job Interview Secrets video course. With that, you get 3 hours of information, advice and action plans that go straight to the heart of my job interview strategy. Now, I used to charge $99 for this short course, but I'm now making it available to you without any charge whatsoever. This is in part to say thanks for showing interest in what I do, but it's also an insight into how I work. If you want to nail any kind of job interview, you can't afford to miss out on this unique material. Just go to vocationmaster.com for free and immediate access. Now, if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe and consider sharing it with other job searchers in your network. Thank you, and I really appreciate your help in supporting my channel. Okay, with those messages out of the way, here's today's tutorial. Now, you might have heard of a company called Gallup, which conducts research into a wide range of business-related topics. Many people know them from opinion polling, but the bulk of their activity is focused on producing a range of data analytics, which aims to help organisations operate more effectively. Amongst other things, they conduct a regular State of the Global Workplace survey, which reveals the attitudes of employees towards the work they do. And here comes the point of this tutorial, because in their latest 2022 report, they declare that just 2 in 10 workers are engaged with their jobs. And what does engaged mean in this context? Well, simply that this category of workers find meaning in their work, think that their working lives are going well, and are hopeful about their working future. That's a great state of affairs for this minority, but here's the kicker. A whopping 8 in 10 employees see things very differently. They don't find their work meaningful. They don't think their working lives are going well. and they don't feel hopeful about their futures. These are the people who are most likely to get sick, feel anxious and become stressed out as a direct result of the jobs they do. Gallup goes on to say that workplace stress has historically never been higher, with current levels exceeding even those reported at the height of the COVID pandemic in 2020. Plenty of other reliable research confirms this grim situation for employees around the world, and I go into this in some detail in my complete job search masterclass. If you're interested in investigating the supporting data in more detail, you can follow the link to the Gallup report that I'm referring to in the description below. Now, before I give you my analysis of this situation, let's take a brief pause and consider whether such a low level of employee engagement really matters. After all, this is work that we're talking about, and who says that we should necessarily enjoy our jobs? Why is disengagement a problem in the first place? Isn't it best to accept things for what they are, keep our heads down and just get on with all the downsides that are part and parcel of a standard working life? Well, if you subscribe to this opinion, I have two preliminary things to say about taking this kind of fatalistic view of your work. First of all, it might not be a serious issue if it weren't for the hugely negative impact on your mental and physical health if you do a job that doesn't engage you in any significant way. I'll talk about this in more detail in a moment. And second, I recognise that many people don't see disengagement as enough of a problem to be motivated to do anything about it, or because they don't think there's a viable solution that's available to them. A lot of this comes down to your attitude to work and about the mechanics of the particular job you do. It also concerns the way you deal with problem solving. I've made this point in previous tutorials, and it's something I'll come back to in future ones. But your mindset is hugely important in deciding if you're likely to be part of my core audience for the video and audio courses, personal coaching, and face-to-face training seminars that I deliver. If you genuinely don't see any problem with the work you do, whether that concerns factors connected to disengagement or any of the other job hunting difficulties that I address, whatever I say probably won't make any difference to you. The same applies if you're aware of these problems but aren't inclined to investigate the available solutions, or if you're not prepared to consider alternative ways of managing your career which could radically improve your well-being, your work prospects and your earning potential. And that's fine, because I want to be straight with you. I'm not in the business of persuading unwilling people to do anything they're resistant to. And this especially applies to anyone who's got a fixed mindset about work rather than a growth one. For everyone else, here's the nub of the problem. The 80% of employees who are negatively engaged with their work are significantly more susceptible to stress, anxiety and sickness than the 20% who are positively engaged with their jobs. In the worst cases, these employees can anticipate a curtailed lifespan. Plenty of high-quality research bears testimony to this, and you can find references to this data on my website. The bottom line is that disengagement is one of the biggest challenges to the physical and mental health of any employed person, and my grand aim is to help as many of the 80% join the 20% as quickly and effectively as possible. So how do you know if you're disengaged from your work? Well, lots of employees will be painfully aware of a lack of engagement, whether they use this word to describe their feelings or not, because they have a persistent and generally negative attitude towards their jobs. Others might be vaguely aware of the possibility of being disengaged, or even in complete denial of reality in some cases. In most regards, this is a tough aspect of work to confront, so I don't want to be too critical of anyone who's struggling to accept that they might be one of the 80%. So let's get specific with some of the symptoms of disengagement. Consider your reactions to the following statements, which are all taken straight from the Gallup State of the Global Workplace report, by the way. I find myself watching the clock tick by. I'm living for the weekend. I think that work is just a paycheck. Now, if you find yourself thinking any of these things on a regular basis, the chances are that disengagement is a major feature of your work. These feelings are symptomatic of a problematic working style for the simple reason that negative attitudes about your job suggest that there's a significant mismatch between what you need at a human level and what your work delivers. As I've mentioned, lots of people balk at accepting this scenario for a whole range of reasons, or they minimise the significance of disengagement in their work. But that's not to deny its existence. I sincerely hope you're part of the 20%, but the truth of the matter is that you're far more likely to be part of the 80%. If you suspect that you might be one of the 8 in 10, this is a situation that should concern you. Disengaged workers are more liable to suffer low levels of personal and professional well-being than engaged ones. They're statistically more likely to work for organisations that employ ineffective managers who impose a command and control leadership style. They're less able to assert agency over their workplace decisions and actions. All of these aspects of work seriously inhibit employees' on-the-job performance and heavily mitigate against their career success. Now, this is only a very brief introduction to the vital area of psychology and practice of employment, and with engagement with work in particular. I strongly recommend you look at my full-length job search masterclass if you want to learn more about it. But here's the good news. There's a simple solution to disengagement that's readily available to you, and that's what my Vocation Master Programme addresses head-on. This series of tutorials gives an outline of what to do and how to do it, for example. If you want to take things further, look at vocationmaster.com for more information and access to my training courses, strategy articles, podcasts and much more besides. Okay, that just about wraps things up for today. If you prefer to listen to training materials rather than watching them, all of these job search tutorials are available in audio format. Search for the Vocation Cast wherever you get your podcasts, and via my Vocation Master website, of course. You'll find written versions of these tutorials there too. Right, well, I'll be back with you tomorrow for day 6 of the 40-day job search, when I'll be looking at a great reason for changing the way you do your work and the strategy you use to look for a new job. And that's the devastating effects of burnout. That's coming along next, so look out for that. Thanks for being with me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.